Let's face it, we suck at staying in shape.
But this year, we're going to get our bodies
And our minds into a better place.
Join us on our journey to wellness.
And no matter what happens,
We'll see you in health.
So, Scott,
What
what you been eating?
a whole lot of crap and pride.
It's not June yet. You can't eat pride.
Technically can eat it every day. I've been eating my words.
Oh?
Well, the thing that you find when you write down what you eat is you realize how much of a piece of shit you are.
100%. There's so much. Do you feel the judgment at the end of the day when you're sitting down going, okay, well, I had that piece of candy and I had that thing to drink and I had this thing. And all of a sudden you just see that little red bar going up in the Lose It app and you're like, no.
Every day I feel like who did Ben Stiller play? What was his name in Dodgeball?
White Goodman.
At the end, I feel like him at the end. I'm nomming on some chicken and I'm really mad at Chuck Norris.
Okay, welcome back, everybody.
I'm Scott.
I'm Willy. Welcome to our journey. Thank you for joining us. We've been doing this for a few weeks. The first episode came out and it was all about just us wanting to bring you along on this journey. Last week's episode was all about putting together a really solid plan. And so what we had talked about is it's really great workouts, getting good at mindfulness, and focusing on nutrition. And this episode is going to be really in deep diving into that nutrition piece, the meal planning part. But before we do that, I think it is only fair that we look back, we hold ourselves accountable because we're accountability buddies, Scott. Let's talk about those three things in our plan, just like our weekly check-in.
Yep.
And then we can move on to the show.
The first thing we talked about was the easy part, the workout.
Fitness.
Fitness pizza in our mouth. Did you change anything? Or did you stick to it? Did you do it?
Yes.
Is it secret?
Yes, I did. Okay.
Is it safe?
I don't know, man. Okay. You and I, we both go to the same Lifetime Fitness.
Yep.
Surprisingly, we haven't run into each other, which is weird.
Yeah. That's weird. I wonder why that is.
Because you go at night and I go at the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah. I'm asleep when you are awake.
Yeah. And vice versa. I'm asleep when you're awake. There's like this small window of time where we overlap. That's right now. I've not gotten to the point where I recognize anybody at the gym, meaning I haven't found a consistent schedule to go. So I'm off by an hour or two, depending on the day and the time and whatever.
How many people are there when you go?
A couple dozen, really not that many.
Yeah, it's same for me. Like, it doesn't feel busy. Maybe 20, 30 people.
I got to the gym at 5:30, like a fucking idiot. I got to the gym 30 minutes after they opened, and there was a class in full session, like the blue room, music bumping, and I'm like, you guys suck. You guys are the worst type of human.
I don't know how you could stand that early in the morning. That place is so loud.
But let me tell you,
really
here's what I've done. Here's what I've done for the workout. I've put in a calendar reminder for every day of the week. And so Mondays, I'm doing my pole workouts. Wednesdays, I'm doing legs. And so genuinely today, I'm feeling like it's hard to walk up and down stairs.
Oh.
Friday, I'm going to be doing back. And then on Saturday or Sunday, whichever one falls on my day off, I will be doing a more dynamic workout. Full body, get moving. It could be like burpees or, you know, those like more calisthenics type workouts. And so I'm feeling good. I'm only a week in and I'm feeling like it's going to work.
Good. I haven't started my plan yet. officially. Like I talked about the program last episode. If you want to know what it was, just go back and listen, or it'll be in the show notes. Because I'm ramping up. It's something where like you could jump into this really seriously right away, but since I haven't been doing things consistently, I've read a lot of articles that say you should just kind of start slowly, give yourself some time to ramp up to a full program before you go internal organs to the wall or external organs to the wall. Balls.
I want to preface that I'm not doing my full workout routine.
Oh.
And so on a pull day, what I want to build up to is
pull, not pole.
Yeah.
You doing strip aerobics?
That's on my off day. That's when you fit the Lord in your life.
That's a weekend.
I'm choosing instead to not do 3 compound back workouts, but 1. And so the very first week I did 1 back workout, 1 bicep workout. I was at the gym for maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
My first leg day was do a couple of them. Like get each of the muscle groups some good workout, but don't do like 3 full workouts. And so my workouts have been shorter, and I'm trying to ramp up so that I'm not... You remember that point where you struggle to walk up the stairs or you can't lift that bag of groceries because you worked out too hard?
I remember.
I want to avoid that this time.
There's some like fancy words that I've read about the 2 ways you can kind of work out. You can work out your muscles so that you break them down, but they're not fully broken.
Hypertrophy?
And so you don't... And the polyglycon and blah, 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 blah
And
things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
like we said, we're experts.
We're not... Obviously, I don't think we could sell you anything if we tried. So that's what I'm in right now. I'm just kind of in the, like, keep them nice and loose and warm and not necessarily grow the muscle, but just maintain. And when it comes to, like, going to the gym, we'll have an episode specifically about going to the gym later on down the line. But sometimes just showing up is important and can be beneficial that you just get there. Maybe you just walk on the treadmill or walk around the track. So that's the important thing, just going and getting into that routine. Now, speaking of routines, how was your eating? Did you keep the same eating routine and just focused on writing like I did? Or did you try to change some things?
Like I said in last week's episode, I was going to fast for Ramadan.
Oh, that's right. You did text me that you're literally going crazy.
But we'll get there. I want to talk about that during the meal planning phase.
Okay.
As far as nutrition goes, Scott and I both use the Lose It app. Use whatever works for you. MyFitnessPal, the Lose It app, the Notes app on your phone, whatever, to track calories. And so my goal has been to track everything through my lunchtime and make predictions about dinner. So I'll start to think during my lunchtime, what am I going to eat for dinner? And I'll start to put that into the app.
Okay.
Scott, where I've struggled is when I get home from work, I don't think about nothing. It doesn't cross my mind to even open the app. It's like I am dead to the world. Don't talk to me.
That'll be a focus of our wellness episode, our mental wellness episode. Because I feel you. Like there's a sense of dread. No, okay. Let me start back by saying there's a sense of hope every single time I open that app in the morning, and I eat a little bit, maybe a little breakfast. You know, get the juices flowing, and it's in the green. And then lunchtime rolls around, and I have my first lunch. And I say my first lunch of me recording it, and I go, oh, I have barely any calories left for dinner. Like, what am I going to do? And then, like you said, the dreaded red shows up, and it kind of puts you in a tailspin for the rest of the night. Gives you a little shell shock for the next day because maybe I don't eat breakfast then. And then I can have something for dinner. Like your mind starts racing, and it's just a hurdle I'm going to have to overcome or get used to, that this is a recording phase and then adjustment phase will come. But I still feel bad, Willie, and I don't like it.
So the judgment right now is high. Remember, aim small, miss small. Remember that age-old movie?
Michael Scott.
I think it was Cool Runnings, but I'm not sure.
We're a bobsled team. We're a bobsled team from Jamaica.
So when you're sliding down the tube, it's okay to just say, "Oh, let me track that apple," and not think about it. Well, if you're not eating apples, okay.
I'm eating apples.
Then what's the judgment, dude? Like, you could probably eat 1,000,000 apples in a day and be like, I don't care if it's 2,000 or 4,000 calories.
I eat an apple with several scoops of peanut butter.
Nice.
Got to get that protein somehow. And then finally here, mindfulness.
How's that going? How's that going for you, Scott?
There are a lot of outside factors that have affected mindfulness this week.
Mm-hmm.
And it is going to be like facing off against Thanos. That even though he's dead, he comes back somehow.
Yep.
He's brought a whole Chitauri army with him. We've got him in a headlock. We're taking off the glove, and then my stupid Star-Lord brain's like, what'd you do? What did you have? And I'm like, I just had a little cake bar that I have, or I just had a handful of chips, and then it's all spiraling out of control.
So what you're saying is when you go to reflect on your eating habits or your day, there's a lot of judgment that's creeping in there.
I am wearing a full black robe, white wig, RBG doily, and I'm sitting behind a desk right now. Like, I just need a gavel and court is in session, Willie.
That is a look, and I'm so happy that I have AI to help me write our album artwork. So welcome to the party, guys. I think I've chosen to meditate twice in the last week. I've not done a great job.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week, how that's going to be our biggest struggle. And so as we go on down the line, down the show row as it is, the more we talk about it will probably help.
I guess I could say this.
Talk about it with others too.
We'll have my wife on to the show as a professional therapist to talk about things that we can do. Outside of that, though, I want to encourage us aging millennials to recognize that now is the best time to do kind of those mental health things that our parents kind of shunned us on. I remember growing up, my parents thought of ADHD and ADD as these kind of fake things that people just wanted to get money out of, or they wanted to stifle children. Well, here I am reflecting on my work going, man, it's really hard to focus on things that I don't want to do. Is that normal? And so then I start asking people around at work, and they're like, no, you have a list of things to get done. It sucks, but you just do it. Like, it's no big deal. And I'm like, I quite literally like can't. It's something is in my way. And so I finally went and did all the testing for ADHD, and I now get meds. And so I'm excited to find out. And it's not something that I'm feeling like, damn it, I have to be on medication now. I'm actually excited because I feel like this is going to right the ship, if you will,
Yeah.
and help with that focus.
I hope it helps too, because I definitely have trouble focusing. There's times when I can just snap into it and I go into this weird anti-goblin mode and I just get things done. And the problem is I'll do it while I'm in the middle of doing something else. And I think that's problematic. So I'll be interested to see what happens from your perspective, if this medication is actually going to benefit, or if you are one of the people where it doesn't work right away and you have to adjust some things. So
We'll see. I've taken one of these stimulants once in my life, and it was at a big
Zyn?
moment in work. It was like 10 years ago.
Snap and Zins.
Yeah. No, I took some Ritalin. That was the most productive day I've ever had.
Your house was clean.
Oh, no, I cleaned house at my job. Now, before we get into talking about meal planning, Scott, give yourself a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. How well did you perform to your plan?
My overall plan.
Overall
I'm gonna. I have to give my on a scale of 1 to 10. Gotta go that high. All right. 2, Willy.
I'm going 4. I'm not much better. And the only reason I'm giving myself a 4 is because when we talk about meal prep, I'm pretty proud of myself, and that's the only thing that's bumping me up a couple of spots.
Speaking of meal prepping, what did you do? What did you try? How did you reach success to bump you up a couple points on that self scale?
Well, you see, Scott, not eating. And now, trigger warning for those of you who are struggling with eating disorders. I am not going to deep dive too much into it, but I wake up. I have 2 packets of instant oatmeal and one of the... Oop, hello.
Hooray! Good for you.
Hooray for me. And then I have one of the Fairlife chocolate milks, the protein milk that you can get from Costco. That's it. That whole meal for my breakfast comes to a whopping 400 calories.
400 calories. And then you pray to Allah for the rest of the day.
No. Now,
And then you can
okay.
eat after sundown.
Like I said, this whole month is Ramadan. I am not a religious person. If you know the show, you know me. I'm doing this for my own mental health. It has been really cool to have conversations with coworkers who are doing this. I was kind of expecting a little bit of like, here's this white man who's trying to join me, and feeling like, I'm going to do this for my own reasons. I'm going to shut the hell up. So many people have had really open and fun conversations. And so I've had a blast talking about this. You know what I have not had a blast doing?
Not eating.
Going into my car while everybody around me is eating lunch, sitting there and going, just go to sleep. And I have slept for 40 minutes every one of my lunch breaks.
Wow. Okay. So you are distracting yourself by basically going into a coma so you can't think about eating. Are you dreaming about food yet? Has that kicked in?
No, not yet. So I want to tell you this, that Monday, I had a total of 1,100 calories.
Oh, okay.
1,100 calories. Tuesday, I had a total of 1,700 calories.
An adjustment day. All right.
And I'm going to tell you, I got home and I ate hard. I had a bag of Fritos. I had a bunch of like tacos,
A whole bag?
salsa, wine. I had some pieces of chocolate. All of that totaled 1,000 calories. And so to get to 1,700 was really like garbage food. Today, I text my wife at noon and go, oh shit, I didn't eat breakfast.
How are you
And
feeling?
so far today, I've had a total of 150 calories.
But you can have water though, right? You can drink water.
Well, the religious type can't, but I can.
You can have coffee. All right. All right.
Coffee's got 5 calories. I don't count it.
I have tried to spread my meals out. I've tried intermittent fasting where I would stop eating at 9 o'clock and then I wouldn't eat until 11 o'clock the next day. And sometimes that's a struggle, especially when you work early mornings. And it's going to be even more, I guess, unsustainable if I'm going to the gym before work.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been starting to eat small breakfasts, like an egg with toast or like some sort of fiber bar, just something to get the metabolism kind of spinning. And then I had a big lunch during the past week, but I've been trying to scale that down to smaller portions so that I can have an enjoyable meal with my wife at night.
What does good look like for you? In an ideal world, like if you can press down what you want this eating habit to look like in 1 year.
Honestly, like some sort of repetition when it comes to meals. I was researching success stories, and there's people that have switched away from certain diets. There's these new fad diets that are going on that I want to talk about. But I want to sit down on a weekend and just say, this is what we're going to have for the week. And we're going to plan to have a leftover night. We're going to plan a night where maybe my wife goes out to eat, has something because she can, and I don't because I have a restricted diet. But in an ideal world, I know that Monday I'm having this meal, Tuesday I'm having this meal, Wednesday I'm having this meal, Thursday I'm going out with friends, so I don't have to worry. I just need to have a meal prepped for Friday, ready to go, so that when I come home from work and I'm exhausted and I can't think, I just have something to either heat up or something to prep without thinking. Like all the ingredients are in my fridge, ready to go.
God, that sounds so good. I have always struggled my whole life with taking leftovers out and eating them. My leftovers come out of the fridge and go into the trash.
For the longest time, my wife, same way. She just did not like leftovers. And I took advantage of that. I'd be like, sweet, I'm going to make extra stuff. And I make a really delicious meal, Willy. And then over time, over our relationship, she has come to say, like, why don't you let me have any of the leftovers? And I'm like, well,
You
said
told
you
me
don't
you
want
won't
them?
eat them.
Yeah.
That happened yesterday. My wife was like, hey, for dinner, you should have that, the rice and beef that you had. And I was like, I don't want it. I smelt it. And she goes, then throw it in the trash. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And she's like, well, you're not going to eat it, so just throw it in the trash.
That's true. That is very true. It takes up necessary space in your fridge. And I don't like to be wasteful with food either. Like before the pandemic, I would enjoy very much just going to the grocery after work, picking out the meal, deciding it, bringing it home and doing like all the prep and the cook. It just feels like time has gotten a lot shorter since. And now I don't even want to think about it. Like I'm just so frustrated all the time about having to do the thing that I used to enjoy. So I think with this, no, like the prep, the making of the meals.
Yeah.
If I have a plan and I can stick to the plan and I can say like, all right, maybe I just go to the grocery store one day and I buy all the ingredients for the week. That saves me a lot of time where I don't have to go out as frequently. I don't have to waste gas, yada, yada, yada. And I can just cook. I can cook like maybe one day or 3 days instead of every single night. Have you heard of the 90-30-50 method that is streaking across the soon-to-be banned social media platform, TikTok?
Is this like hit a 90-year-old with your car, make out with a 30-year-old, and ask a 50-year-old for money? Got it.
Marry, yes, F kill, right? Yep.
Okay, perfect.
So what is it, Willie? You have to marry, F kill, 90-30-50. What's your plan?
Without any idea what this is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kill the 90-year-old because, I mean, really, what are you doing other than taking my tax money? I'm going to F the 30-year-old, and I'm going to marry the 50-year-old because they've got the money.
All right, that's not a bad plan. But that's not what this is at all. It comes from eating 90 grams of protein, 30 grams of fiber, and 50 grams of healthy fats every day.
That's a lot of fiber, man.
It is. It is. So hold on to your butts. But
Literally.
it has helped people lose as much as 15 pounds in 2 months.
Really?
What I thought when I saw this is like, how do you eat 90 grams of protein a day? But then I thought, like, aren't you supposed to eat 1 gram or something, like almost 1 gram to that, like, of your body weight? If you're trying to build muscle or get ripped or
For
something
protein,
like that?
yes. You want 1 gram per pound of body weight
Okay.
that you want to weigh. So if you're at an ideal weight, right? Like if you're 300 pounds, don't eat 300 grams of protein. If you want to weigh 200 pounds, go for 200 grams of protein. That's going to support having better muscle growth, feeling more satiated.
You know, the thinking from that train of thought is like, oh, this person's only wanting to weigh 90 pounds. But it's actually a very balanced diet that people are finding success. Now, I will say, this is brand new. There's no data behind this working. And on paper, it's just raw numbers. Like many diets, it is just something that will work for some in the ideal way, and others it will not have the same effect.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to try it? Willie? Should we do it? Should we jump on this fad after Ramadan, of course?
Yeah, I love this idea. And I want to go one step further and say, as part of my meal planning, 3 days in a row, no lunch. That feels like I'm getting there. What I have been told is that by about day 4 or 5, you start to feel okay during lunchtime and not feeling the like hunger pangs that start to creep their head in.
Sure.
And so, as part of this plan, I love this idea. I think this is great. I want to cook dinner, which is now has become the biggest meal of my day.
Mm-hmm.
And I want whatever those leftovers are to be my gift to myself the next day. That's the thing that I get to now eat for lunch instead of not eating lunch at all. And so I'm going to make this weird choice to say either I eat leftovers or I don't eat at all.
It's very totalitarian of you. I don't know if it's healthy, but take it from
I'm allowed
somebody
to break
who
the
has,
rule. It's a soft.
Yeah.
It's soft. It's like baby's
take it
forehead.
From somebody who has done the I'm not eating diet for a while. It has results and it works. You lose everything else though. You don't just lose weight. You lose muscle. You lose a lot of things.
Oh God. Now I want to talk about some of the health benefits of this diet that you're talking about.
Yeah.
One thing that not many people are doing is getting the fiber they need in their diet. And so
It's really important.
There has been a lot of articles out there, whether they're true or not. Leading research now says that there's a huge uptick in colon cancer in young adults, more so than they've ever seen. It is it has the most rise of any sort of death outside of heart disease, which is always the number one killer. And so the way that a lot of researchers have found to solve this, there's a giant dog behind me. Hold on. Okay. Oh, God, it's in my mouth. So the way that doctors have found to solve a lot of this, or the reason that this has caused the type of rise in colon cancer that we've seen, is because our diet doesn't have a lot of fiber.
That's true. That is very true.
So I started taking fiber supplements. I've been taking those for a few weeks now. Man, I will tell you, I have such a better... Stop it, Max. I have such a better time in the bathroom because of this.
That's good. That's really good. And eating a lot of fiber-rich foods. Fiber supplements are one thing. I would encourage you by the end of our challenge here that you should try to switch over to a whole food fiber source.
What would that look like?
Not making out with a dog.
Okay.
Like beans and legumes, apples, lentils, nuts. You know.
These nuts?
You're used to eating nuts.
I got a little lightheaded there. Dude, I started removing beans. If I ever go to Chipotle, I usually do chicken and rice. I remove the beans as an option.
Why?
Because I got pretty farty.
Do you feel it in your tummy though? Like, do you feel like you're bloated?
Yeah.
So that's the fiber. That's the gas from the fiber filling you up. I found that there are different types of beans on the farty scale. Yeah, so there's like super, traditional black beans, kidney beans, red beans, those types of things. Those are high on the gassy scale. And then there's things like adzuki beans, which are, I don't know. Yeah, don't look at me. It's the name on the can. If you just give a quick Googs to what beans are less gassy, it'll show you the scale. Pull it up.
Oh, I'm finding this.
Read it out loud.
Gas scale for beans?
While most types of beans are healthy and delicious, they're not all created equal. Some kinds of beans are worse offenders than others when it comes to causing gas. If you're someone who suffers from a sensitive digestive system, or you just want to avoid embarrassing tummy troubles as much as possible, pick your beans wisely. The easiest beans to digest, and therefore less likely to cause gas, according to Country Life Foods, are lentils, black-eyed beans, adzuki beans, and mung beans. The hardest ones to digest are red kidney, soy, black, and lima beans.
Well, okay, where do pinto beans fall on that?
Somewhere on the higher. So it's just, yeah, it's not as great for your tummy.
Damn it, Chipotle. Those are my only bean options.
If you're a chickpea guy, guess what? Gonna give you gas.
Do you know the difference between a chickpea and a hormone?
Yeah. Yes.
I only have chickpeas on my face.
That's the worst
I didn't get
telling
that
of
right.
that joke I've heard.
I think I merged two of them together.
You did. We're gonna take that one and we'll try it again on Lovely Lurkers. We'll get it right.
Got it. All right, Scott, you feel good about our plan this week?
The plan to start planning. Let's talk about what we're actually going to do.
Okay.
How are you going to change from last week to this week?
I'm going to focus on the macro scale for what I'm doing. I'm going to increase my fiber. I'm going to increase my protein, lower the amount of carbs that I have. And so all of this is going to come from really strategic eating. And
especially
It's about
with
that time for me to get groceries, and so I'm going to be really thoughtful about how I'm eating this week.
Yeah. Especially with your restrictive eating schedule right now, it's going to be important that you focus those macros at the times where you can eat and not make you feel too bad to affect your sleep schedule, which maybe we'll talk about that next week.
I think we should.
Now for me,
nice, calming sleep.
Yeah. For me, I am going to sit down and have a nice, thoughtful conversation with my wife about how this plan affects the both of us, as I am the one that does the cooking, and see if she will agree to maybe just 30 days of trying out the same meal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc., etc., etc. So
That's
that
a good way to try it, right? To build that practice in.
Yeah. So it'll make shopping easier for both of us, and we have to think less about it. And it's easier just to focus on Monday is man meat.
Hey, wife. It's time for man meat.
Manwich. It's a manwich meal. Hot dogs. Get your hot dogs. Yeah. And then it's Taco Tuesday, equal opportunity.
Just diversifying. You guys are keeping it even.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this week.
Appreciate everybody listening. We are on this journey for a year, but we're really on this journey for life, and we want you to be a part of it. So come along on this magical mystery tour, and tune in next week where
I sleep in Scott's arms gently, and he rocks me and he sings sweet, loving words of kindness to me.
And I kiss you on the forehead. Just
where we'll see you in health.